You are not separate from your desires. You're not separate from anything. I know you've heard this, that you're the cause of it all. And in the last video, I talked about that unconditional divine love. That is why we can have whatever we want. But why is it that people still feel like what they want is separate from them? It's away from them. It's apart from them. I want to talk about in this video, I want to end all feeling of separateness, of separation from your desires, from others, from everything, anything, even from your own body. I would like, this is my intention behind this video, is for you to have a deeper awareness of what no separation really means. And I intend that this video is simple and it explains it easily for you, and that it will allow you to move into this whole space of nothing that I desire is separate from me, and that is why I can have it all. Welcome, my name is Rose, and welcome to The Rosey Life, where we help you free your mind and follow your heart so you live a life that you love. If you're interested in working one-on-one with me, you know what to do. Go to TheRoseyLife.com, or you can join the Rosey Life course and community, where I answer questions live every week on Wednesday, and they're all recorded, and you can post your questions in my private forum before the live, or you can do it after. Either way, and it's just such a wonderful place and community to be. Okay, so let's get into this video. So I know that many of you have heard that you're not separate from anything, your desires are not separate from you, that nothing's outside of you, that you're the cause of it all, right? And you can hear these words, right? And in like my session that I just had with this new client just a few minutes ago, right, we were talking about, you know, all the different terminology, like she finally got what living in the end really means. And we walked that through together in a way that made sense to her. She heard it, and the light, it's just like the light in her face was so there. So, but today I want to talk about separation, right? Because it is something that we learn. Separateness. It is something that we're learned, that we're taught from the moment that we're born. And it is something that when you turn away from it, you won't have to really beat yourself up on thinking that something's away or impossible from you, or that people and things are just feel so hard and difficult to have, right? And that you feel lonely, or that you feel like you're needing or longing, or that you're all alone. All of these are forms of separation. And I want to start off with a very powerful quote from A Course in Miracles. And so the mind, it says, the mind can make the belief in separation, the mind meaning your mind, okay, let's the way that you think, the way that you perceive things, all right, the mind can make the belief in separation very real and very fearful. So it can make you believe in it, that it's really real and fearful. And this belief is what they say is the devil. Okay, not a devil with a pitchfork, or the one that you learned about in Sunday school, or the comics. It's like, it's not talking about that this is a physical person or some ghost or demon, okay? That's not what the devil is that they're talking about. They're talking about this idea, okay, that the belief in separation is real and fearful. That's belief is the devil. Look at your life, they say, and see what the devil has made, but it will dissolve in the light of truth because its foundation is a lie. So it's saying, look at your life and look at all the separation, all the fear, all the doubt, all the lack. Look at your life and see what you have believed in. That is what they're referring to as the devil in your life. But even that concept or idea of fear and lack and separation and doubt and impossibility is based on a lie. In other words, it's not the truth, because the truth, the light of the truth, is who you are, that there is nothing but God, there's nothing but one, there's nothing but love, okay? And let's keep going. This is a quote from In Science of the Mind by Ernest Holmes. He says, there is nothing but mind to move. There is only one mind God's mind, who is perfect. We all are in this one perfect mind. I'm going to show you an even cooler analogy that I drew up for you about this, because I like drawing little pictures. So this quote, I love it because there is nothing but mind to move. In other words, it's not that we're physically moving things around, it's we're moving in the mind. That is the action that we take. Instead of, we're used to forcing and doing things physically, right, and putting in the sweat in doing the effort into making something happen. But here Ernest Holmes is saying there's nothing but mind to move. In other words, your opinion, your perception, the way you see things, right? So your interpretation, your belief, your meaning, the definition, what you think everything means. That's all we're doing. He's saying that we're only moving the mind, and that there's only one mind. Okay, well, there's not billions of minds, there's one mind. And I'm going to get into this further in a second. And here's an example that I heard, and I'm not really sure where I heard it from exactly, but it was based off of A Course in Miracles. And it says, for example, flowers exist on this earth, right? Flowers are here, but what have we done? We've taken flowers and now we've separated them. There's roses, there's daisies, there's tulips, there's lilies, there's hydrangeas, right? There's like tons of flowers categories, right? But within every single one of those categories, we've separated even more. We've created, like within roses, there's hundreds or thousands maybe of different types of roses. And then even with those types of roses, they create hybrids of roses. Let's mix that type of rose with this kind of rose, and then that's another different rose. Do you see? And with the daisies, are they wild daisies or are they homegrown daisies? Tulips, there's bulbs, and then they're seasonal. Do you see? We keep separating, we keep going down, 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 separated even more and more and more and more and more and more, right? And then we take that one thing and then we create hundreds of things. This is a perfect example of thought, of the way that people think, right? You have an idea, and then you notice how that one idea or that one fear or that one doubt takes you down a rabbit hole, and then you start thinking thousands of thoughts. You're just like, whoa, how the hell did I get there? Right? And all of a sudden you were fine, and then you're feeling unhappy, or you're feeling stressed, or scared, or you're doubting, because this is what we've learned, is to separate, to dissect, and to chop everything up. Do you see? Time is another perfect example. We have hours, we have seconds, we have minutes, right? And then we have calendars, and then we just decide man created how many seconds are in a minute. What constitutes a minute? What constitutes an hour? What constitutes a day? Do you see how many hours are in a day? And then we put it on a calendar, then we label them days of the week, and then weeks, and then we label them months, and then we label them years. Do you see? This is us separating time, and time was an idea. It's not God made. Time wasn't created by God. Time is an idea that man made. Flowers were created by God. Do you see? But then we took what was created and then we dissected it. And but at the end of the day, guess what? I don't care what kind of flower or hybrid or where it's grown in the world or what time of the year. It's still a flower. A flower is still a flower. It's just a flower. It doesn't matter if the flower costs $100 or if it costs 25 cents or if you found it in the side of the highway. It's a flower. You're the one saying this is an ugly flower. It was a weed. It's ugly. It's wild. Do you see? Or you're saying, you're like, oh, this is a perfect, beautiful rose or perfect, beautiful daisy. Do you see? Because you paid $150 for it or whatever. Do you see? You're the one categorizing and separating it, because this is how we're taught to think. And this is how we get into this feeling that things are away from us and aside from us and apart from us. Okay, so here's my little drawing for you guys. This concept, this drawing, by the way, it's from, I learned this in grad school. Carl Jung, right? This was his idea that there's this one mind, and then there's all these like umbilical cords, if you will, that's connected to us all. Okay, so that's where I got the picture idea. Okay, so but even further, even with like A Course in Miracles, with Ernest Holmes, with different teachers, even psychology, right? Everything, but more about metaphysically, everything, and biblically too, there's only one, right? There's only one what? There's only one mind. There's only one body. There's only one thought and one emotion. That's love, or one, that's it. And I talked about what love is. It's unconditional divine love. It's not the fleeting love of a puppy or of a child or of a person. Those are all parts of love, right? But unconditional love, there's one love, one mind, one body, one thought. And from this mind, right, we were all created equally. We all, like, these are all little pictures of you, of different people, right? But notice that we're all connected to this one mind. But each and every single person has a little thought bubble above them, if you can see, okay? And every little thought bubble represents your free will to choose and think. So, however, we're all choosing and thinking. We're all using our free will, but we're still thinking with this mind. Most people think that we all have our own mind, a mind of our own, and that we're the ones creating things and we're doing this on our own, and that we're separate from others, right? And that their mind is not my mind. No, do you see? We're all thinking in this one mind. We all are a part in this one body. This mind is perfect. Remember what Ernest Holmes says. There is nothing but mind to move. There's only one mind, God's mind, which is perfect. We all are in this one perfect mind. So this one mind, one body, one thought is perfect. There's no blemish and nothing's missing. It's all perfect. And it is love. It's not bad. It's all love. It's all good. It's all God. Do you see? So we all have free will to choose what we want to think about or assume, okay? But we're all doing it from the one mind. So, and then I wanted to draw over here like the little bubble. Okay, here's your little bubble. I dropped her down here, or him, whatever. Okay, so here she is, and she has her free will, okay, to what? To have a personality, right? She has a history, and she can assume whatever she wants. But guess what? All of these things with her free will, how she sees herself, what she thinks her history is, what she thinks others see of her, all of that, it's all changeable. It's not concrete. It's not factual. She can change anything she wants to. Okay, and as she changes what she sees herself as, in other words, what she assumes about herself and what she assumes about everyone, right? It's all changeable, and every time she changes her thought, it's happening through this one mind, and that is why everybody now must see her in that new way. Or if she sees herself as a victim or that something's wrong with her, she's thinking it through the one mind, and everybody has to see her that way. Do you see? So that's why Neville said no one to change but self, because we have free will, right? But we're using the free will, we're thinking through the mind. All of us get our own little free will, right? Or our own, not little, but all of us get our own free will, okay, to choose, but that's it. Because when you're using your free will to choose, you're doing it through here. The thought is coming through this one mind. Remember, there's one body, one thought, one mind. All right. So, and then like I said, an analogy further, right? So here, the little personality thinks that she's separate and she's on her own and all alone in the world, right? No, she's connected to the one mind, to everyone. We're all thinking in the one mind. That's why there's no one better than you. There's no one less than you. You don't have competition. No one has access to more money or more love or more fun or more health or more joy. It's everyone's utilizing the one mind. We're all thinking through the one mind. Do you see? And then in that little personality thinking things, like she continues to deep dive into her and how she thinks, right? She keeps going down. Flowers. She thinks flowers. Okay, but there's roses, there's tulips, there's daisies, and then there's subcategories for all of those. Do you see? And then where are they grown? And then what soil do they grow in? And what country are they from? And do you see? You keep going and going and going and going, diving deeper down into the ocean because you keep separating. Do you see? And this is where people get caught up a lot because they don't understand, like, you're not separate. This is what you're not separate from, the one source, from one God. You're not separate from anything. All your desires are in the one mind. Everything is coming from here. All desires are divine and they come from the one mind. Do you see? You have free will to choose them. You can say no to them. You can choose something different, right? But everything comes through the one mind, and this is that one power. This is where the law is as well. The one law, everything's one. So every time you want to go deeper and deeper and separate and subcategorize and subcategorize, right? You keep going and separating, and but these people speak this language and there's this culture, and we keep separating people and abilities and better and good and judging right and wrong. Do you see? It's a constant feeling like you need to separate more, and the more you separate, the more you need to protect what you've separated, and you believe it because you keep picking it, and you're not remembering that you are from this one mind. There's only one mind, one source, one cause. So when you hear, I am the cause of it all, I am God of my reality, yes, you are. That you are doing it with that one mind, and so is everybody else. We're all in the one mind. We're all in this together, you guys. We're all operating from one mind. No one is separate from you. Nothing is separate from you because it's all together. We have learned to separate, categorize, and subcategorize races, people, cultures, language, food, and it's okay. It's okay to enjoy these differences. There's nothing bad about categorizing and subcategorizing. But I wanted to share this with you, is that this is the mode of thinking of why people feel like what they desire is separate from them, or why their person is separate from them, or why things are separate from you. Remember, every single person is having their own free will experience. And just because this one, let's say this one wants this person to hire them, like the boss, right, the interviewer, and you're like worried that they have a mind of their own, that they want to hire this person instead, right? Now you're not thinking of yourself. Now you're not focused on what you want. Now you're focused on what he's thinking, what he might do, and he might hire this person instead of you. So now your focus is over here. You're still thinking in the mind, but now you're using your power to think about what he might be doing that you don't want. Do you see? And even thinking about her getting the job or him getting the job. Do you see the focus? Now you're using your focus and your power to focus on what you don't want, and all you have to do is stay here and say, this is what I want. I don't have to worry about what everyone's doing. I just stay here and focus on what I want, because I know what I focus on, what I want. That same power is speaking to all of these minds at the same time. There's no separateness. What I say, what I think, what I assume, everyone else assumes it with me. Do you see? But if I start focusing on what they are doing, now you're using your power and your awareness to focus on what you don't want. And then that works too. It all works. It always works. You see, I love this quote, and I've said it before, by Eric Butterworth. There's no spot that God is not. So God is everything. God is in every single flower. God is in every single person. God is in every single thing, because it all comes back to one. So what I encourage or suggest, if you want to, start practicing and notice that when, like A Course in Miracles said, it's like, look around your life and see where you have created separateness, and then change it to like, no, but we're one, and I am one with everything. I'm one with all things, all people. There is only one. And man created all this division and separateness. And what we can go back to is to love. Go home to love, to the cause of it all, to the oneness of it all. Because because that is where your power lies. And when you're identifying as that oneness, as that source, that's something that you don't even have to keep affirming all the time. You just remember, you look back, because the truth is what sets us free. The truth is what sets you free from the illusion of separation, because separation God didn't create. Do you see how we create it with our judgment and our fears and our doubts? But that's not who we are. We are light, we are love, and we are that one power with God. Thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for liking the video, and thank you for subscribing to The Rosey Life. I am so happy that you guys are here, and I appreciate you all so much. And I love you guys, and I intend this video help shift things around even a little bit more. And I will see you guys soon, because you all are so freaking amazing, and I love you so much. And thank you again for being here. I'll see you soon. Bye.